Hey, y'all. Now, I agreed to do this because Cheryl told me she was going to be out of town this week. Normally she does that. Hi, Cheryl. Good to see you here this week. She came to surprise Troy for Father's Day, so don't give her too much slack. But like Pete said, Pete, Cheryl, and I were at annual conference 2 weeks ago from the 7th to the 10th. It was the 55th session of the South Carolina Annual Conference. And Bishop Fairley preached on what do you see, who do you see? I'll talk a little more about that at the end of my spiel. The fun started Sunday when we recognized 26 retiring pastors, clergy, and we ordained 16 new clergy, full elders, provisional elders, deacons, as well as 12 local pastors later in the week. Monday, we officially called to order the 55th session at 10:42 a.m., if you wanted to know. This year at conference, it was rather tame compared to some of the past few years. A lot of big stuff going on, so much needed respite in that regards. But there were 4 resolutions that were put before us. Most of those were graciously accepted by the committees that they were referred to, so we didn't have to vote on anything for that. They just took it and adopted that into their practices. There were 2 resolutions that we did debate and vote on. The first one passed by a pretty fair margin. It was a resolution that affirmed the need for participation, representation, and rights in voting. The second resolution narrowly failed. It was a resolution to increase support, resourcing, and recognition for our local pastors. I will say that most of the opponents, the ones who spoke out against the resolution, were local pastors themselves, who were very appreciative of the notion, but didn't want to get bogged down with the extra regulatory meetings and, hey, attaboys, as one person put it. So those were the resolutions. Other business that was conducted was the standard adoption of all the reports. We got to read this big 200-page packet of all the committees and all the work that they had done over the year. Adopted those without much oversight. We had a statement on a relationship between Etworth Children's Home and the United Methodist Church. They are celebrating their 130th year of operation. So they are celebrating later this year, and we just reaffirmed that that is a partnership that we want to have. We made changes to the standing rules. That's our conference level rules, one of which was about metrics. So there are some metrics. I'll give you one later about how many people come to the church or the conference, how many baptisms there were, how many adult baptisms. And then there was one request that did have a lot of deliberation, and that came from the Board of Trustees of the Methodist Center. For you that don't know, that's the building that's in Columbia. The bishop's office is there. The secretary's office is there. Stephen's parent worked there for a good bit. Leslie's mom worked there for a good number of years. So the Board of Trustees was looking for permission to explore options and what to do with the building. The building is old. It is starting to degrade. They were looking for either the ability to sell or renovate or retrofit for new tenants, increase tenants. That request did fail. The body of the conference felt that there wasn't enough information. It kind of came out of nowhere. I've already had some people come and ask me questions about that. I will go into more detail with that if you want, but that did fail. Now for the positives and the good news. This year we celebrated the 70th anniversary of ordaining women in the UMC. We recognized South Carolina's first woman ordained minister. In 1974, she was ordained. Wednesday morning, the conference held their first ever intergenerational worship service. It was really cute. They had the dancers come out. They had a children's choir. The director stole the show, but that's headsay. And then, like Pete said, they also had a youth delegation. The pastor or the bishop asked if there were any other youth members, and Pete and Cheryl got up and went. So please don't try and find that picture. My face is mortified. I'm sure Pete will give it to you, though, if you ask. We raised $7,600 for seminary scholarships, $13,000 for theological education, and over $55,000 for the Rise Against Hunger charity organization. On top of those funds that we raised for that organization, we packed 125,000 meals. I woke up Wednesday morning unable to move my arm. Lastly, one of the metrics that was changed because of the standing rules is the number of baptisms. We baptized into the UMC 823 people in South Carolina last year. Yeah. The conference came to a close on Wednesday when we recognized the retirement of 3 of our district superintendents. Those spots have been filled, so don't worry. And we got a report on the merging. So how it was, the South Carolina Conference was split into 12 districts. We downsized that to 10 districts. The Florence and Greenville districts were dissolved and absorbed into the surrounding districts. How many times can I say districts? I don't know. Finally, we finished with the service on Wednesday of the fixing of appointments. I am pleased to announce that we are blessed with, I'll let you decide, the wonderful Pete and Kathy Burnson for another year. And then the bishop preached one final time on what do you see, who do you see? A highlight from that proclamation that I'll leave you with. Sometimes we refuse to see all the people, but we must see all the people and possibilities before us as we do our work. The day is over for clergy and churches to beat down one another. That day is over. Every place, every church, and every community is filled with possibilities. God is already there. We just need to open our eyes and see it. Next year's conference is going to be in Florence for the next 3 years. It's been there before. It's from the 6th to the 10th, and I look forward to going if you'll have me. If you have any questions, please ask Pete or I, or Cheryl, because she is here. But it was a lot of fun. Thanks for letting me go, guys. That concludes my report.